look at a fuller video, it's police officers sitting outside of a police precinct. He would just edit the video so people couldn't see that and make it seem like they were in front of somebody's house doing an investigation by playing into that, like that idea of we all want. I'm very conspiratorial. The reason that this frustrates me is because I'm of the belief that what's going on with Candace is going to make it impossible for us to question Bibi Netanyahu ever again.
Wait, whoa. Okay, make that connection because we're talking about like TPUSA, Eric
right.
Kirk.
Now I'll make the connection. So what happened in this story was there was this woman who was a tarot card reader or whatever it's called, and so she had this big TikTok following, and she told her followers that she knows who the killer of the Idaho 4 kids were because it came to her in a dream, and she started accusing a professor at the school who it turns out wasn't even in town at the time of the murder and had never had an interaction or any evidence that knew the students at all. And yet, after being told to stop, she continued to do that. And then her followers started harassing this person. And fast forward, and now there's a lawsuit. She made a lot of money at the time, but now there's a lawsuit going on, and there's punitive damages. And she tried to flee the country because of, I don't know if she believed it, but there was literally zero evidence of it, and she was profiting attention-wise, money-wise, and that's not the first time that's happened. Like the same model has happened in other true crime cases.
Oh, so you think that Candace is that person?
Absolutely.
Oh, I don't believe that.
And Bibi Netanyahu. So, well, the reason I believe that about Candace is because if you know Candace's career progression, and I don't even. So here's the thing. Are you
talking about like?
I don't disagree with everything she says.
But are you talking about whenever she had the NAACP come down?
I'm talking about when she pretended to be.
No, but have you heard of that?
Yeah,
so
no,
when she was in high school.
Yeah, and she pretended to be the victim of a racial slur.
Well, she didn't pretend it. She didn't pretend it. The guys were actually doing that.
But no, they never proved that. Did you know that? So, like, she claimed it, and they actually brought the FBI in to do an investigation on the phone call.
Okay.
And they could not determine who made the phone call. So the only evidence of who made the phone call was Candace's claim of who made the phone call, which was an enemy of hers at the school. She was arrested for abuse at that same time, by the way, for like bullying.
Wait, in high school?
Yes, she was. She was arrested for harassment around that same time. And maybe something happened, but they actually brought FBI in to do a forensic analysis on this phone call and could not prove it. And so that's when they went to the school board, is to get money out of them because they could not get any evidence of what Candace said was true.
Wait, I have a question for, is that Zach? Do you think Brigitte Macron is a man?
Do you?
Oh, 100%.
Really? I don't know.
I believe her. I mean, she has put money on the line. Like, I feel
Yeah. No, so like, have you read the case?
No.
So there's a 200-page document.
Well, okay. If literally she would just pee in a cup,
right?
Like like literally,
yeah.
Or show her.
Here's how I connected to BB right here. There's a 200-page document.
Okay.
Where it's interesting because you see people be like, everybody's going after Candace, and I'm like, I've gone on a number of shows where I'm a panelist on a show of conspiracy theorists, and literally every one of them says the same thing, and I'm like, bullshit. Here's why we're all going to be fucked. Like, I'm literally the only one every time. And I'm very obviously, I don't give a shit about Israel. Fuck Kash Patel. The best place to hide the Epstein files is right in front of his face where he can't see because he looks like he's watching two fireworks going opposite directions. And say, I don't give a shit about any of these people. Tim Pool's hide the Epstein files under his beanie. I don't care about any of them. Okay? So I'm not any shill for anything. I don't like any of them. And so you read this document, because this has happened to me before. I got kicked off WSB around the same time that conspiracy theorists were silenced. You're familiar with the JFK document where after he died, there was a conscious effort by the CIA to silence conspiracy theorists?
The Mockingbird thing?
It's similar to that, but like specifically CIA said, let's get conspiracy theorists and shut their conspiracies out.
I mean, that happened after 9/11 as well, right?
100%.
Like flooding the internet with all the conspiracy
Definitely.
theories.
Yeah. And that's the right word, flooding it with conspiracy theories. And you read this document, or the Macron document, and it is filled with every single conspiracy theory, many of them very legitimate, many of them evidence-backed, COVID stuff, like, it's like all of the stuff that you can prove being paired together with stuff that there's no evidence of, only insinuation.
I mean, But at the end of the day, if she isn't a man, who cares about what?
Doesn't matter.
Like if she is actually a man or she is like that's
no, who
literally
cares?
so yeah. So whatever is in the documents, like.
Well,
Doesn't matter if she puts conspiracy theories in there, whatever. I mean, they're
she's going to lose the case. And so what's happening?
Why? Because she's a woman.
No, it's not. She could actually take the whole thing about a woman out of the case because there's a number of different other claims.
That's so dumb though, because the basis of the whole thing is whether or not she's a woman.
It's not. That's what Candace says the basis of it is.
I mean, that's what it should be.
Right, but so the defamation case was brought by them, and they brought about 8 other different claims.
Okay, so like.
So let me tell you what they brought so you understand what I'm saying.
But the thing is, that is all to me just kind of like show what matters is because this is the whole thing she's been like talking about.
But if they prove defamation,
it doesn't matter.
And they're calling it a hate crime.
Is she a man? Is
so
she a man?
Conspiracy theories will be considered a hate crime, an anti-Semitic hate crime. And
but this is being brought up in America, not France. I think France.
Yeah, no, France is also being brought up. Because they've actually prosecuted people for Candace stole all these theories from people.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
and those people are being
steal it. She gives them credit.
Yeah, they've been prosecuted right now. They're being prosecuted over there, and I don't agree with that. I think people should say whatever. Like I'm totally. The reason I call attention to it is because I'm against the censorship, and I'm trying to tell people, like.
So, do you think she's a man?
I have no idea if she's a bitch. I think she's weird looking.
So that I have literally gotten into fights with people because I'm like, oh yeah, there's
I think her husband's gay for sure.
No, not Candace being a man.
No, both of their husbands.
Wait, did you see that thing about Alex Jones? Hold on, I don't know if this is real or if this was like an AI, but like there was a video of Alex Jones being like, Erica Kirk's pregnant.
Yes, it was funny as shit. Candace is a baby. Yeah, it's. No, it's and that you get to that. It is funny, but you get to that level of it where it's like. It becomes impossible. Like we're having a conversation. I appreciate you letting me talk about it. No, I'm going to let you talk about it too. But like, it's difficult to discuss the nuances of it because of the. It's all about like hating the other side. And what somebody told me that I discussed it with, they did not. They said, I know that Candace is using deceptive tactics, but I'm okay with it because of the overarching exposing of Israel.
Gotcha.
And so my response was. That's the ends justify the means. That's a communist thing that you have opposed for very. And I'm just pointing that out. And maybe you shouldn't oppose it. Maybe you're right, but
but there's never going to be a person. And gosh, I'm making this argument as someone because this is the type of argument that people make when I talk about this stuff. It's like, well, who are we ever going to believe? Because
right,
people are always going to.
Mm-hmm. Who you believe is you believe your own judgment. So there's an operation. I've covered this on my show a lot. So during COVID, we were talking about that earlier. The mainstream media lost all trust, and people started going to conservative media. And I mean, not conservative, to conspiratorial media. That's when my show grew more than ever before back then, because I did a lot of stuff on the ground with COVID. My mom was in the hospitals. I experienced a lot of it firsthand, as many others did. And so the credibility in the alternative media grew as it dwindled in the mainstream. And that same year at Davos, Klaus Schwab and them, and I have the clip on my computer, they had one of their forums, and this woman came out, I can't remember what her position was, and she said, never before, at any point in history, have the elites of the world been more united in purpose. While at the same time, never before have the publics of the world distrusted them across the board. In order to push our agenda through, we have to win back the trust if we want to shape. They call themselves global shapers. We want to shape our the globe and our narratives. And that to me was like so eye-opening. It was great. Like, yes, they recognized it. But then every Davos after that was about disrupting trust, regaining trust here, rebuilding trust here, mimicking authenticity. And so it became, let's put our people in the podcast sphere to try and be like them. And then it became, let's try and attack the conspiracy media. And so that's what I see going on right now. I see an attack on the conspiratorial media going on by taking it to the extremes. I agree with a lot of what Candace says, but then Candace does things that make it so easy to destroy us all. Because so how it'll be everybody on the left is a communist, everybody on the right is a Nazi. Even most people are actually not. Most people are pretty normal. everybody in conspiracy world is Candace. And Candace actually said I watch all of her shows because I'm convinced most people don't who really support her.
I watch her.
I get the sense that you do. But she says stuff like she said the other day, and I think she does the flubs on purpose. I think she mispronounces things. I think she's very good at this. She said, she goes, it's kind of crazy. Look at all the signs about Erica Kirk, who I think Erica's weird. But she goes, look at the signs that she's implying guilt. Like one of them, for example, like she tells Barry Weiss that it's wrong to have hatred towards the Jews. And I heard that. And it can be easy to be like, oh, she just means it's wrong to call everything anti-Semitic. But then I listened to it again. I was like, no, she acted like it's wrong for someone to say that it's not right to have hatred towards the Jews. That sentence, it's wrong to have hatred towards anybody, in my opinion. If she were to say it's anti-Semitic to question the Jews, I'm 100% agreeing with her. But to literally the definition, anytime somebody says something's anti-Semitic, I say, okay, shut up is what I say. Shut. Just like when anybody says something's racist. It's just so tired. But literally how they define it is you have hatred towards the Jews. And Candace says, it's kind of weird how she said it's wrong to have hatred towards the Jews, which would imply it's actually right. And I'm not saying that's how I would say it. They're compiling lists because you read that Macron document. That's what they do. They have lists of things she says like this, and they use it as examples of why conspiracy theories are anti-Semitic. And so statements like that just make me think that she knows.
Okay. So what you're saying about her is exactly what she claims about Nick Fuentes.
Right.
So, like, he'll say, like, she thinks that he's, like, a CIA asset trying to, like, make far-right people look ridiculous.
Maybe.
So, that's crazy that you're saying that about her.
No, he might be, too, but, like, and I'm not even saying...
Well, actually, recently, so he was kind of popping off on social media, like Instagram and TikTok, but recently he has completely, like, what is it called? Not downfall, but, like... he recently said that what Jeffrey Epstein was doing was not really
right.
pedophilia.
What a hill to die on, you know?
Yeah. So, yeah, I haven't seen a clip of him since he said that. So, yeah. And I was like thinking.
He was selling the shirts, the Epstein shirts.
What do you mean? So,
Epstein wore these quarter zips. And so Fuentes, like trolling, I guess, but also he started wearing one on his show and selling them. And, you know, Candace, you can get an autograph. A copy of her book for $200. I can't get I can get a signed baseball, World Series baseball, my favorite player, Freddie Freeman, for $150. Candace selling. I mean, good for her. She's getting it. But she might. I don't know if she's. So I'm not saying she is an op. I'm saying that she either is being used as one by a handler, which would probably be her husband, or she is just based on her career history. She's a con artist. And so are TPUSA. Erica Kirk is a career. She's like a social weird career climber. I've known, like, she's so awkward and strange, and she's in this organization. And if Candace were to like actually prove something that they did, then I would absolutely say, great job. I still think you're a con artist is what I would say, because that's where she's been. You know, she tried to get out of like paying her rent for an apartment for like $200,000, a little bit less than that, by staging this thing where she had like a mold attack, and she's just trying to pay. She didn't pay anything for like a year, and she just claimed she's a black woman that got attacked by mold, and she lost the lawsuit and had to pay it.